Each week, we like to wind out the podcast time with a couple of games, a little bit of fun and joviality to finish what's been a very tense and difficult hour of podcast for you to get through. Let us first go to This Week in History.
All right, Mr. Dan Barrett, I'm going to pose to you some questions that I think you'll have a fun time answering, and I hope Dean watchers will have a fun time listening. That's Dan coughing in the background. May 5th, 1952, tonight's episode of I Love Lucy, called Lucy Does a TV Commercial, is seen by what percentage of the possible US television viewing audience?
So I'm going to call bullshit on this as a trivia question, only because unless you happen to know the very specific number, like, there's no way that you could sort of guess this or work through it at all. Like, it's going to be a large share. I'm going to say 53%, but really, there's a 1 in 100 chance being able to get this, Simon.
That's right. Lucy Does a TV Commercial was the 30th episode of the sitcom I Love Lucy. It's considered one of the most famous episodes of the show. In 1997, TV Guide ranked it number 2 on their list of the 100 greatest episodes of all time. It was watched by a whopping 68% of the television viewing audience at the time. So that's pretty incredible numbers for a single episode sitcom show. May 7, 2017, the MTV Movie Awards becomes the first major awards telecast to do what?
So I was trying to think about the MTV Movie Awards, a movie award show I've never seen, but I don't think they still make it. And so I'm wondering if 2017 might have been the last time they broadcast it, like it's the last major kudos cast to stop.
I think they do still broadcast. I think the MTV Movie or Movie and TV Awards, as it was christened back then, is still on. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know. Maybe I'll double check on that. No, it was the show which first brought in merging gender categories. So there was no Best Actor and Best Actress. There was just a Best Actor in a Movie category, which was won by Emma Watson for her role in Beauty and the Beast. The film opened with the first award of the night was given by billion star Asia Kate Dillon, the first non-binary performer playing a non-binary character on TV. And it was the start of a, dare we say, a more woke and better for it MTV Movie Awards ceremony. May 11, 1989, after 217 episodes, which primetime soap opera airs its final episode on this day? 270.
Okay, so look, it's going to be a Dallas or a Dynasty. I'm going to say Dallas.
No, you'd be wrong. It's Dynasty. It aired on ABC from January 12, 1981 to the aforementioned May 11, 1989. So 0 from 3 for Dan Barrett in this week's history quiz. Never seen that before. Win to me. Let's go to birthdays.
No, not happy birthday. No, not that. Please, no, not happy birthday.
All right, bit of a serious one this week on our birthday quiz. Let's go through them all. May 5, 1957, Richard E. Grant. May 9, 1979, Rosario Dawson. May 9, 1946, one Candice Bergen. And on May 9, all the way back in 1936, the late, great Albert Finney. Now, they've all played a character with one particular, let's say it's a problem. Let's just say that. So what could it be?
They've all played journalists.
Journalists. Yeah, they probably have at some point. Yeah, but no, that's not it.
I'm not really too sure.
You're stumped with this one. They have all played on-screen alcoholics. Now, the in point here was, of course, Richard E. Grant, who in With Nail and I was one of the most famous on-screen alcoholics in cinema history. In Rosario Dawson, she started as Crystal in the film of the same name, directed by William H. Macy, in which she played an alcoholic who is pursued by Nick Robinson after an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Candice Bergen starred as Murphy Brown, who famously is a recovering alcoholic on the show. And on May 9, 1936, Albert Finney, he was Oscar nominated for his role as the self-destructive British consul in the director John Huston's 1984 film Under the Volcano, which is a stunning film if you get to see it. If you have any issues with alcohol intake or you think you have a problem, call the Alcohol Drug Information Service 24/7 here in Australia on 1-800-250-015. In the US, call 1-800-662-HELP, and look for help in other territories if you think you have an issue. That's our PSA service for this week.
Okay, we should also probably do PSAs if you are still deeply invested in the Star Wars universe.
Yes, that's probably a good idea as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the numbers are.
1-800-BANTHER. I wonder what 1-800-BANTHER gets you to.
Nowhere good. Folks, let's sign off for the week. This has been the Screen Watching Podcast. My name is Dan Barrett. You can find my work over at the Always Be Watching website. It's called Always Be Watching, and you can find it at alwaysbewatching.com. Shall I say what's actually there? It's a newsletter.
Yeah.
You can find out stuff about TV, streaming, and film, and other stuff. It's free to subscribe.
And you should subscribe because it's a good read. Screen-space.net is where you can find my rantings. I did an extended review of Unfrosted, so you can have a bit of a read over there. Long-form film criticism. I love it. Bring it back. And all the things Screen Watching you can find on our Facebook page at Screen Watching Podcast, on Threads and YouTube at Screen Watching. Give us an email at screenwatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Keep us in touch with our fan base out there by emailing us your thoughts on the show and any questions you may have.
Okay, folks, this has been a Screen Watching Podcast. We'll be back next week with more watching of the screens. We'll see you then.